This is a book review of the No A-Hole Rule. We are Accessory to Success, a website for business leaders, authors, those interested in writing books. We have a lot of business books we review on this site as well. If you'd like to go to our website and subscribe, we have a weekly email newsletter where we send out book recommendations and releases. You may enjoy that if you enjoy business. Now let's move on to the main takeaway from the No A-Hole Rule. How many times have you exclaimed either out loud or just in your head, "What an a-hole"? The good news is that you are hardly an isolated case. Robert Sutton adds to the foundation of his article in the Harvard Business Review in order to highlight the best approaches to dealing with a-holes and isolate why and how they can be so debilitating to running a company. By giving this book a read, you will be presented with plenty of moments of common sense, empathetic and amusing instances on several major topics. By the time you read the last page, you will be intimately attuned to an a-hole sense that will pick up negative qualities, be apprised of major incidents of assholery within major organizations and businesses, and even have an accessible test to self-diagnose and rehabilitate your own a-hole tendencies. Sutton has already revealed that the a-hole is not a pest in the office, but is actually a far more dangerous and toxic hazard to corporate profits and employee morale. His newest book unveils the total cost of a-holes to the modern world of corporate enterprise. He reveals all the tells common to a-holes, such as being fond of interpreting, putting people down, and favoring sarcasm and teasing as attack delivery systems. His self-diagnostic a-hole test can also help you figure out if the one a-hole in every room you go to happens to be you. If you take the test and discover the unfortunate news that your inner jerk has a lot of trouble staying inside and kept in check, Sutton also provides a list of tips to help temper those tendencies and even reform your urge to act presidential while at the office when you are off the clock. Here are some bullet point takeaways of what you'll learn in this book. Temporary a-holes versus certified a-holes. How a-holes ruin companies. Are you an a-hole? A quiz. A-holes are assets, sometimes. Surviving, quote, Satan's cesspool. Now on to the main book summary. Sutton quickly disarms readers with admissions of his own regrettably a-hole-ish moments. He then asks if any readers have managed to get through life without being an a-hole. If so, he asks such readers to please contact me immediately. I want to know you've accomplished this Superman feat. This admission and the reassurance that we're all jerks sometimes lends perspective to the problem and reinforces the delineation between the two, certified a-holes and the temporary a-holes, he defines in the beginning of the first chapter. As support for his general argument, Sutton pairs anecdotes of nightmarish abuse with findings from toxic organization studies. It's a structure that confirms our own observations, reassuring us that we're not crazy by affirming that anecdotes aren't isolated, exceptional instances. A book that provides a great example of decisions that create toxic work environments can be found in Grit, about Enron. He backs up these horrifying stories with statistics about the large percentages of victims and witnesses of bullying that leave their current company. To prevent this competent exodus and maintain a jerk-free workplace, management and employees must, he presses, act swiftly and definitively when they see poor behavior. Regardless of the a-hole's job title, it must also be public. Doing so will reassure current employees, lure in valuable new hires, and repel the undesirables. For more on finding the right people and removing those who are toxic, read the book Who. As we are all jerks from time to time, spotting jerk qualities in yourself is very important. Surrounding yourself with the right people has a major impact on your behavior. People surrounded by a-holes tend to develop a-hole tendencies. There is a quiz included in the book for a helpful introspection. Tim Ferriss talks a great deal about the importance of removing people from your life that are not bettering you in the book The 4-Hour Workweek. Not everyone can change their environment or resign. Dr. Sutton dedicates an entire chapter to survival tips for maintaining sanity and dignity in a toxic workplace. For more insights on the specific survival method, read this book, The A-Hole Survival Guide, to give the topic its due. Though the No A-Hole Rule outlines policies that, for the most part, executives would need to implement managers and employees can use to encourage civility at work. However, Sutton stresses the need to see the implementation of well-meaning policies at all levels and the personal responsibility of each member of the organization to see that civility is the rule. A wonderful book about this subject and company culture in general is Bait and Switch, about the author, Robert Sutton. Robert Sutton is a professor of management science and engineering at the Stanford Engineering School, where he has been for 35 plus years. He teaches undergrads, grads, CEOs, and others while writing, offering seminars and speaking engagements, and recording his podcast. His published body of work includes his blogging and many articles and essays. His 7 management books include these bestsellers: The No A-Hole Rule, Good Boss, Bad Boss, Scaling Up Excellence, and as mentioned, his newest book is The A-Hole Survival Guide. No A-Hole Rule has appeared on New York Times, Wall Street Journal, USA Today, and Business Week bestseller lists. Dr. Sutton republished in 2010 with a different publisher in order to add new material about the book's impact. Dr. Sutton was a website where you can find links to his written works and blog and see what books he recommends or rants he's writing. This has been a book review of The No A-Hole Rule. We are Accessory to Success. Don't forget to go over to the website and subscribe to our email newsletter where we send out new book releases and tidbits and takeaways from all these great business books, and of course suggestions and even free books that are available. It's all about business books here and trying to create a better working environment, writing environment for writers. And if you're interested in those things, please do subscribe. Find us on social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the others. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next review.